Welcome to another episode of Fort Worth Roots. You found the Donovan Manufacturing segment, a very Leo-forward, military-type episode that talks a little bit about the industry and everything that they sell and work with and the classes that they do and the ranch down in Texas. Donovan Manufacturing can be found at donovanmfg.com or donovanmfg on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok, I believe. Night vision, thermals, machine gun rentals, AR-15 parts, classes, and more. Also under the same umbrella, get all of your print needs through our friends. Banners, vehicle wraps, business cards, brochures, t-shirts, and anything else you might need. Find information on the print shop on Facebook at Dillon-Press. Also, you can email them at Dillon@Dillon-Press.com. In this episode, they brought in a friend that has a local shop where they teach firearm safety and self-defense classes. We're going to get more into that here in just a moment. All of the information will be in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here, and let's start the show.
Been gone for 40 days and for 49. Gone crazy in the head. Come on home, you got your daddy seating ready. Come on and show me hell tonight. Come on, baby.
All right, folks, welcome back. We are at Donovan MFG. This is a new leg of the Fort Worth Roots podcast that we started up about a month ago, almost exactly a month ago today. And we're going to be hanging out with these guys weekly, starting in April.
Yep.
Is that right? And we've got custom gun parts here, night vision goggles, classes, all sorts of great stuff going on at Donovan Manufacturing, but also Dillon Press. So lots of great ways that you can support these guys. Find them on Instagram at Donovan MFG, on Facebook, same name, also Dillon-Press.
Yep.
And I'm going to be there's going to be an audio difference between me and these guys because we got 4 in studio today. Let's start on this end. Just introduce yourself, where people can find you, and move it on down the line here.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Wilson Machado. People know me as Stryke. I'm a firearms instructor. Teach pistol classes at Greater Sports every Monday night.
Where's Greater at?
Greater is in North Richland Hills.
Okay, excellent.
Yep, close by. Not too far.
My name is Russell Jones.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to Movie Phone. I'm with Donovan Manufacturing. I'm on the basically the leg that messes with MGs and transferables and deals with all the paperwork stuff that nobody else wants to deal with. And what?
Charities.
Yeah, the charity part. Yeah. We have machine guns for rent, so call us. You got a hog problem? We're the solution.
Hog problem. I was thinking about a really wild 4-year-old birthday party, maybe.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I mean, I got kids. I can do it.
Dillon Donovan with Donovan Manufacturing. I work for him, so.
Yeah, you work for him. Cute. Excellent. We're going to have a new guest in here probably every week, different topics, things like that, but it's very Leo friendly. This is meant to be something in and of its own brand of thing. So every time you see that shield with the serpent and the dagger on it, you know you've got a Donovan MFG episode in front of you. I think today we're going to be highlighting what you've been getting into a little bit.
Me?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I don't know. I didn't get a brief on this.
Yeah, no. So it was I hate to say last second thing. Talked to a few other people, but I 511 partners with USCCA. They do these classes, and I happened to be in one of the classes, and Wilson was teaching it. And after the class, I went up, talked to him, kind of got a little bit of a background from him. And then as I started talking about the company, he was like, dude, I didn't know you. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, man, I've heard about you, this and that. Okay, so we exchanged info and, kind of talked a little bit, and was like, "Hey, man, why don't you come be on the podcast? Let's try to blast you out there and see what you got going on." So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is a pretty small world.
Let's get into your background a little bit. They were telling me before we jumped on recording, you're from Brazil originally.
I am from Brazil originally.
That explains the accent.
Yes, it is there. It is there. Not ashamed. And chicks dig it.
Yeah. Right on. So tell us a little bit about your background, what you did professionally.
I started martial arts in Brazil really early, and I got my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo, and I started working security in Brazil, unarmed.
Okay.
Singers and bands and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And when I moved to the United States, they told me that in Texas you could go to a place and rent guns. I'm like, what? Is that real?
It's Texas, baby.
It is Texas. I had no idea. And I went to a shooting range and rented a Colt 45 to shoot because I used to watch Magnum PI on TV.
Was that your first experience with firearms?
No, it wasn't my first experience, but it was the first one with a 1911 and 45.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got hooked, and right there I met this one guy that told me he would teach me everything about the 1911 and train me up. So since 2003, I've been training and teaching and learning, and I've done every possible school that you can think of.
Okay. Is there an area that you kind of specialize in firearms instruction?
Handguns.
Okay.
Handguns. My biggest thing is handguns.
So just basic safety, understanding the weapon, how to fire it accurately.
I would say he's level 3 or 4 up, right? I mean, you teach basic classes, but you can also teach the higher end stuff.
I would say so. Yes, I can teach basic class, and it's very enjoyable for me to teach basic stuff with handguns. But I also like to do the handgun fighting classes.
Yeah. I've seen some of that online. Is there a pretty big movement for that? A community here in DFW? Well, I'm talking locally. I've seen the videos. I know people do this.
He said handgun fighting, so we're talking like pistol whipping, stuff like that.
Yeah, throwing magazines in eye sockets.
Right.
Yeah. If you have a good aim, that magazine becomes a pretty big weapon.
Yeah.
But yes, there is a very big market in the DFW, and there's a lot of people out there teaching. But everyone has a gunfighting type of class, right? And for the most part, you go to those classes, and it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
I teach every Monday night at Greater Sports from 6 to 8. And every Monday night that you get is a different class.
Excellent.
Always working with the gun that you carry.
Okay. So you've got the same people showing up for these classes.
Not always. There's a group that is very consistent that they are there every Monday. There's a lot of new people that come through as well.
That's excellent. You guys ever been pistol whipped before?
I have.
Actually, yes.
Wow.
It's not hard. It's not fun.
It's not fun.
Like a fun time.
It hurts.
Yeah.
You?
No?
We're gonna hey, we'll change that before the end of the episode.
God.
Did you come up to one of my classes and see if we can change that?
This is a soft head, man. I typically left my helmet in the car, but I'm usually running around in a bicycle helmet.
It's never intentional. It's like someone the holster smack.
Right. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Like the butt end of an M16. The old school muskets, the big ones. I've had that happen, and there's no give to that buttstock.
No.
Everybody doted on those guns, man. Those were the most accurate. I mean, this is before we were kicking indoors, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're standing behind a berm, 100 yards away, that's the best.
Ideal.
I can't even see the target at that distance.
100 yards? It's not that far.
He's a pistol shooter. He didn't need to.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right.
Sure. Correct.
Anything else interesting going on at your schoolhouse?
Just the classes. We do have revamped of the classes that we're teaching now. Something new is coming up, so it's pretty much come and see.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like your average class.
Okay.
Well, Gritter's a pretty cool store too, right? I mean,
It is.
That's one of the premier gun stores around here. They got some really awesome stuff in there. It's not laid out like a lot of them, and I mean they're partnering with us with Dillon over here, and we're going to be one of their guns in there, and that's one of the reasons these two made connection.
Nice. So
Yeah, and
another way to rent
they
those
have
guns.
the tactical bay there too that we can do quite a bit with, and that's what we use to teach the classes.
Okay. Now what's in a tactical bay?
Moving targets.
Okay. All right.
What everyone wants to do. Oh, can we have some moving targets?
Everything's painted
we
tan.
can.
That's a lot better than the way we do it, man. We usually just be like, "Hey, take off running." There's a few hills back here. Try to duck down.
We do those too, but those are special classes for 4th of July.
It's hilarious. Do y'all do a bunch of the what do they call that? You're moving through a course. You've got this target here. You move to a new station. You're moving tactically. Are y'all doing stuff like that?
No, we don't.
What is that called?
Talking about like CQB?
Oh, like competitive pistol shooting. Like
Yeah.
range
Oh,
shoots.
competitive stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Competitive stuff. No, we don't. We focus more on the average civilian, right? Mom and dad that want to carry a pistol to protect themselves. That's
Okay.
what we
Yeah.
focus on. That's what we specialize on. So it's not the guy that runs with 4 or 5 different magazines and a competition pistol on
Right.
their hip. Do you go to Walmart dressed like that?
Yeah.
You don't.
Right.
So come dressed like you're going to Walmart, like you're going out to have dinner with your wife, and bring your pistol, bring the gun that you carry.
Maybe wear
and
a
let's see
belt.
what you can do.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Hey,
the
wear a belt, please.
It's the beauty part
And the
about this.
pistol has to be in a holster.
Right.
We prefer that way.
We
So
don't
no
need to-
basketball shorts, like sagging,
No,
thrown in there. No.
Mexican carry.
Dude,
cartel
the gun
carry,
shoots
not
the
a
same
thing- not a
sideways.
thing.
We don't need nobody cheddar bobbing themselves.
You're actually more accurate shooting sideways than you are trying to
Tell
aim.
me.
That gun moves too much if you're trying to aim or find a dot there. Yeah, but we specialize on that, the regular civilian, right?
Oh, yeah.
We do teach some performance shooting. Of course, it's depending on who is there. If you're up to that level, yes, we engage in that. We teach that. But for the most part, is people that are, look, I have my family. I want to find a way to protect my family. That's
Oh.
what we focus and specialize on.
I hope people understand this because I'm in Texas, and I'm glad it's this way. I'm no fan of regulation. You can get a firearm pretty easily without any kind of licensing or training or whatever, but you need to know how to use that thing if you're going to have it in the house.
One thing that he does that I've picked up on is it's bring the gun you got. So a lot of these pistol courses, and if you're even into it just a little bit, or you want to get into it, and you check any YouTube video, you think you can't run one of these things without a staccato, and that's not the case at all.
No.
Because every gun works, and the mechanics are the same. It's like golfing. You don't need a $500 putter.
A lot of people have that super special pistol, right? They buy that $4,000 Staccato or a Wilson Combat or some name brand, and they're like, "Oh, that's my pistol for when shit hits the fan." Okay, are you gonna carry it every day? Yeah. Oh no, that stays in the closet just in case. If you're going to Walmart, you're not gonna have time to leave, go back to your house, get in the closet, pick up the gun, and come back to fight. Yeah. What do you actually carry to go out?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of in this industry that, oh, I can put my rifle in my backpack, I can do this. I can't even try to go out to dinner with my wife and carry a backpack with me.
Right.
She will kill me before I even step out of the house. So it's more based on reality, the reality of our daily lives. That's what we teach. That's what we specialize on.
Well, the same weapon that's right for me might not be right for you. I have a Glock. I think it's a Model 43. It's a slim compact. I wanted something that was going to leave a very light print. I didn't want to walk around, let people know that I've got it on me. That's not something I want.
I'm the exact opposite.
I know.
Everyone has to know what
I mean, I EDC a full size 2011, so
Yeah, and
I'm a bigger dude.
right, exactly.
my
Different
UDC
for
is a
everybody.
1911
There
45,
you
and
go,
people
man.
question me why. I was like, why not? It's a
Did
big gun, big caliber, God's caliber.
Yeah.
Just God's caliber.
Caliber. But I'm a big fan of Glock. So, and I've had this 43 for a while. I'm at the range with a friend of mine, and I've always had trouble with it. I've got a pretty tight shot group, but it's always low and to the left. And
No way.
always low and to the left. So
Glock trigger,
my buddy
Glockitis.
brings out
That's what we call it.
the full body 9mm, the big boy, right? The full size one. And he puts that in my hand because we had messed with mine and tried to get me to shoot right for probably 20, 30 minutes. he puts that full size 9mm in my hand, and I crack one off, and it's a dead center, and I'm like, huh, that's odd. I don't understand this. I didn't change anything. Like, my fundamentals are exactly the same, but just moving from the slim little tiny baby Glock to a full size 9mm, and I'm dead on. So I'm in the market.
Hey, I happen to know a guy.
And I have, and there's always that discussion, right? What gun is best for me? And everyone has an opinion, and all the guns are out there. And at the end of the day, can you shoot or can you not shoot?
That's all that
The
matters.
gun is not going to change anything for you. The dot is not going to change anything for you. The marksmanship has to be there.
Yeah.
Now, one thing is true. A lot of people, when they go purchase the gun, is, oh, this is easy to conceal. It's easy to conceal. If it is easy to conceal, you're giving up on something else, somewhere else. And it is the shootability of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah.
The smaller the frame, it's more likely that you will have problems keeping that gun working.
Right.
Your grip is not going to be there. You're not going to be able to stabilize that gun. It's going to cause the issues. The bigger gun is much, much easier.
Yeah.
So much so that I used to carry a full-size 1911. Now I'm with the Commander. Right? It's a little bit easier. But the full-size 1911, and everyone's like, oh, that's a big gun. Who can shoot that gun? I was like, anybody. Everybody can shoot that gun, as long as you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things with me working at Ritter, at Winchester Gallery when it was still exist, was my wife can never shoot that. I was like, oh, say no more. Would you like to try, ma'am? And I did that challenge, many times. Sure. Well, let's go into the range. You shoot my gun, a few shots. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. I've never experienced a woman coming out on the range upset for shooting a full-size 1911. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh, that's so easy to shoot. I was like, yeah. And they come back from the husband, the boyfriend, dad, or whoever was there with that lady was always, she will never carry. Mm-hmm. So, not the point. I'm not talking about her carrying the gun. That's a whole different conversation I'm going to have.
But it's in the house.
Can she shoot?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And she's dead accurate with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, there you go.
Well, the weight of the larger pistol is going to kind of compensate for the higher caliber size, right? I mean, that's
the size of the gun
point.
and the weight of the gun makes it for a softer recoil,
right,
than if you get a small frame 9mm. Mm-hmm. And everyone goes, oh, anybody can shoot. No, that's not it. If it's not comfortable for you, you're probably not going to go back to that experience.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So give them the option. Whoever it is that you're teaching or whoever it is that is trying to get into guns, give them the options. Give them as many options as you have available to you. Let them choose. I don't choose guns for my wife. She chooses them.
Yeah.
Man, I do.
Right.
Well, at the end of the day, you want them to be able to pull it quickly and get it on target as fast as possible. Right?
I want them to be comfortable with the gun.
Right.
I want them to be comfortable with the gun. Not everyone is built for a fight.
Right.
And this is one of the things that I talk to many instructors and candidates of instruction. Can you teach someone how to shoot without making it about self-defense?
Okay.
And everyone looks at me like I'm crazy. I said, your wife, your mom, your grandma are your biggest clients. If you can teach them and they ask you to go back to the range with you, you're a good instructor.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, then you probably
so you got to be a little bit of a people person. You got to know how to communicate.
Yeah, I have problems there.
Well, it doesn't seem that way. You seem to be doing pretty all right.
I can teach people how to shoot. The whole being people thing is like, yeah. I have a reputation.
What have you guys been getting into this week? It's been a month, but I know Russell can't remember that far back, so we'll just keep it to a week.
We hung out yesterday, right?
Was it yesterday?
See?
It was yesterday, yeah. I'm like you, man. There's so many things going on that it's hard to keep them all in sequential order when I reach back in the memory box. But, yeah, it's been a crazy week. It's only getting crazier.
Yeah, summer is coming up, and it gets busier with the teaching because now everybody wants to be outdoors. Mm-hmm. And the weather is nice as long as it's not 120 degrees out. Yeah. So I have a couple classes coming up. Saturday, I'm probably going to be out at ETTS with a church group. They do security for the church. I'm going to be running them through some drills, working on their pistol craft.
Where's ETTS at?
Waxahachie. Yes.
No, 20 years ago, if you'd have said a church group was coming out to learn about guns, I'd have been like, that seems weird. But
right now it becomes the normal.
very relevant now.
I don't know a church that does not have a security.
You got to have it.
And this church, those guys are doing it right.
What church is it?
I'd rather not say.
Right.
Not on that.
It might be my church.
Some of the churches don't want that information.
Yeah,
out
good
there.
call. Yeah,
and I'd rather just not say.
I was just checking you.
That's all right. But they're doing everything right.
Yeah.
They're building their own team. They are certifying their own candidates. The candidates go through a vetting process. It's not just, hey, I want to be here at the church. No, are you a part of this community? For how long you've been a part of this community?
Yeah.
Do you have a background in security? What else have you done with the church before?
Right.
And I was like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm running a team of 6 of them at ATTS this coming Saturday. And then on Monday, I have the gunfighting class at Gritter. And I won't stop teaching until, God, I don't know, winter comes around.
Yeah. Just going to have a full roster.
I hope so.
So you talk a lot about like security and stuff. Do you do security classes too?
I do security classes too. I'm a
Like
level 3 and level 4 instructor. And I also do work at security level 3 and level 4.
Okay.
I just like doing that stuff.
Right on. Yeah.
I'm familiar with level 3. What is level 4?
Level 4 would be the bodyguard.
Okay.
Bodyguarding, personal protection officer.
Oh, okay. So for individual. Yeah, level 3 is more of a property guy.
Property guy, correct.
Level 3 is still uniform, right? Level 4 is civilians?
Civilians,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Nice.
And it is pretty interesting because everyone is looking for the level 4 stuff. Everyone wants to do PPO work. Everyone. And the more I teach classes, the more I find out people have absolutely no clue what a bodyguard does.
It's actually kind of boring.
Well, I saw the
It is
movie.
kind of boring.
It's very, very
but
boring.
everyone is looking for the action. I'm like, you're in the wrong place. You need to go overseas to do that kind of stuff.
Some spooky stuff.
Some spooky
Yeah.
stuff. Because they want to do bodyguarding for call it a celebrity, a politician, or even a pastor from a church, and they want to wear the full gear, right? Is bulletproof, I don't know how many magazines. I was like, who you're trying to protect and against what? Do you understand what a bodyguard does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get my principal out of danger. I said, and can you move with all that stuff? And they look, and I said, you may want to rethink all of that.
Yeah, no kidding.
But those are very enjoyable classes to teach as well.
For sure.
Somebody playing a little too much
You
Call
should
of
just
Duty.
which one doesn't have a plate carrier? I need to sell you one, then tell you it's all crap.
Are you talking about the vest?
Yeah.
I'm always bombarded by ads on Instagram, and it's whatever it thinks I'll buy, and it's constantly plate carriers.
You're hanging out with the wrong people.
Hey, man, so we've got some hanging in the shop in there before you get out of here
Amazon
today.
knows where you're at all times.
Maybe that's what it is, right? I've been hanging out at Donovan Manufacturing too much.
My wife told me if I give her a plate carrier for her birthday or her Christmas or anything, she will kill me with it.
So you just got to give it to her on any other day of the
On
year.
any other day
Yeah.
of the year. So
Nothing says I love you like getting your significant other a plate carrier
she goes, when am I going to wear that thing?
when you need it.
I'm like, babe, all right, so this is the gun you need. And a year later, I'm like, all right, look, this is an SBR. This is what you need. I'm like, all right, no, this is not millimeter. This is more what you need. Well, now it's got a suppressor on it. All right, so this is how a red dot works. And now it's like my wife's got the best thing, and it doesn't recoil, didn't do anything.
If you want to one-up it this year for her birthday, we've got an armored vehicle back there that she would probably love to drive around.
Yeah.
Don't start giving out ideas.
It is a Lexus, I'm just saying.
Do you like Lexus?
Y'all live in HEB, you might need it.
Have we got the ride for you?
I hear Keller's going downhill.
For the folks that don't know, is it okay to talk about it?
Yeah.
The car that we're talking about is an up-armored Lexus, and this thing is about as legit as it gets, and it's sitting about 20 feet from us, right, in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty damn rad. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, those windows look a little thick, brother.
A little heavy.
It is impressive. I was out there checking it out. It is impressive.
That's pretty damn cool.
Now, if she asked me for one for her birthday, it's May 5th. So hurry up.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. It'll be ready to go for you.
And what did I tell you? I was like, I know you're not in the up armoring cars business, but you better be careful because you might find yourself in it.
Hey, man, with everything else we got going, like, what's one more tick on the resume? You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Hey, the more prepared you are, the better.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Just in case we need it.
I got a question about your level 4s. Do you have to get your level 3 first, or do you just go straight to level 4?
No, you have to have your level 3
That's
first.
what I thought.
You have to
yeah.
have your level 3 first, and then you get your level 4.
Because you can go straight to level 3. You don't have to do 1 or 2.
There's no level 1. Level 2 comes, if you take the class online, it comes with the level 2 certification.
Okay.
Level 3 comes with the level 2 certification.
Okay.
The information is the same. You're just not allowed to carry a firearm on.
Right. Yeah. I went through it years ago, and it was so stupid. The company that I was working for, they knew a guy, and it
I
was
think everybody knows the guy.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't think anybody actually does the course.
it was a real check the box situation, and I was just like, this is scary. Like, because then you go and you work with these guys, and you know that they got certified through the same guy, and you're like,
It is scary. And one of the reasons why I decided to get my license to teach the level 3 and level 4 is because I was out on the field working, and I saw the level of officers that were out there.
garbage.
I'm like, no,
Straight garbage.
I do not want any part of this. So I decided to get my license so I could teach. And it is pretty impressive what you find.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. There's a cool story about a dude, was one of my officers, and we had a post at Hooters, right? Oh, I want to work at Hooters. I want to work at Hooters. Oh, you have the wrong idea of this. No, I want that post. Fine, got the post. And he's all tactical, cool, a big background, right? And he's doing his thing, and he's in heaven because he gets to hang out with all the Hooters girls. Like, man, you're there to work. Just, focus.
Stay on target.
Yeah. And then one night, beautiful Saturday night, I'm at home asleep because I'm off that weekend.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call. Hey, your officer had a negligent discharge.
Oh my God.
How? Get in the car, run to Hooters, see what happened. After they closed and the girls were cleaning up in the kitchen, doing their stuff, he decided to practice his dry fire with a loaded gun on post. You made a damn good impression when you just got that pistol out of your holster and fire. All the girls looking at you like you're an idiot, and you are an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the last time I saw him.
well, you can't all be winners,
But at least try. Don't give it a chance.
I
for
get it,
something
man.
He was
bad to
practicing.
happen.
He was bored. Give him a break, for Pete's sake. Poor guy. He was trying to improve his skills.
And you were talking about
You
this
were
earlier.
just
Wrong place, wrong time.
That church that you're talking
Come to the
about.
class on Monday night, and I'll let you do all the reps you want.
Well, you go into the security deal, talking about these schools that do the level 3, level 4s. Like there's some good ones out there. There really is.
There are.
However,
of course.
just like anything else, just like going and doing your LTC or even TCOL, level 3's no different, level 4's no different. You have the state minimum qualifications.
Correct.
Right? And I'm going to say most of these schools, that's all they abide by. You come in,
The minimum.
this is the PowerPoint. We're going to go through the PowerPoint. All right, let's go to the range. Can you draw? Can you shoot? Hey, you didn't miss all of them. We're going to give you a license, right?
Yep.
So I go down next week. I go take my manager's exam, and then once that clears, the security company, we're starting to be up and going.
Nice.
And then down at the ranch, down in Dillon, that's where the training license is going to be held at. So what we're working on down there is actually putting together an academy. So I think state minimums are what for level 3 and 4. It's 55 hours of the PowerPoint and classroom and all that.
I think level.
Because I think
level
it's
3
40 hours for level 3 and then an
40
additional
hours for level
15.
3. Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That
So
50,
level 3, level 4, you're at 55 hours. So we'll go in and essentially it's like, hey, that first week we knock out all the state requirements, right? And then we do an additional 2 weeks of all the extras. So when you come down, you go through the academy down there. It's not a oh, I come down, oh, I got my level 3 and level 4 now. Like when you come out of there, like I'm not going to go into all the details, but man, they're doing like some bud stuff, like drown proofing some guys, like, and it's like, hey man, like why are you doing that? It's like, dude, there's so many of these money guys, and they all have yachts. What are you going to do if your principal goes overboard? You need to be able to know how to swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's part of the whole teaching and the mindset that people are missing. Mm-hmm. There are good schools out there. Absolutely, there are good schools. But the majority of them, or a good part of them, are training just to the bare minimum curriculum. Mm-hmm. And they want to get the high-end jobs. Well, you put somebody that is not qualified on a high-end job, you just mess it up for everyone else.
Well, it'll ruin your name too, right?
They end up ruining your name. And that's why I saw business going in and out, or schools going in and out of business because of that. You didn't qualify that person properly, or you didn't have enough to put them in that position, and you got that contract because you're a good salesperson, but you don't have a person that is qualified to work that post.
Right. And that's the industry. So when I was in the industry before, I owned a security company before. Man, it's a big race to the bottom, and you got all these training schools that are getting people in and like pumping them out. Like, hey, you come in, you do your minimums, you get out, and I got the next class coming in. And hey, man, you're doing your thing, you're making your money, cool, but you're oversaturating the community, right? And you've got so many people that come in, and depending on who the client is, they don't care if it's some dude that you pulled in off the streets that you can pay them minimum wage.
Correct.
Because they got a body there. And for insurance requirements, that's all it is a body.
There's a body.
And so, and being able to find, and don't get me wrong, you're going to have good guys out there that have the background, but went through the bare minimum requirements to get your level 3 and level 4, right? But you put on an academy or a school that hey, the guys coming out of here, they've got the requirements, but then they've got all this extra under their belt. We can start pumping those towards more of the high profile clientele.
Because that's the goal, right? You go into level 3 and level 4, you want to have the high profile. Yeah, and everyone wants that cool client, cool gig. I'm like, this is boring. You have no idea how boring this is. Level 4 stuff, I have a buddy of mine, we work together, and he found a gig to be a bodyguard for a CEO. I was like, cool. So let's talk about this.
Probably a lot of CEOs looking for bodyguards right now.
Yes.
The insurance industry.
Oh, dude. I bet overnight, right?
Yeah.
And I was asking him, I said, so from the conversations that we previously had about level 4 stuff, what are you carrying? And that was that minute of silence on the phone. I said, what are you carrying? Man, I'm in slacks and a button-down shirt. I said, oh, really? So no tactical pants, no tactical boots, no, nothing. I carry a small pistol. I said, and what do you do all day? I sit around his property. That's bodyguarding for you.
Yeah.
The day that you need to do something is a bad day for everybody.
No, you would hope that you'd go 40 years without seeing any kind of bullshit, but
that's what I would hope for. But they just don't have that understanding, and the market has gotten so saturated with people with the level 3 license, the level 4 license, that people are just taking jobs just because they want to take the job.
Yeah.
And I don't blame anybody for trying to make a buck for supporting their family, but people are out there bragging, oh, I got a level 4 gig for $25 an hour, and they think it's a lot of money. I'm like, no, that's why the good people out there can't get the contracts that pay 10 grand, that pay 15 grand on a weekend, because we hold the same license, and you're taking the job for $25 an hour. How can I go and charge $150 an hour, $200 an hour, or whatever amount of money that I'm going to charge?
Well, and I think for a outfit like what Donovan's putting together, you get these people that, say you're providing security with level 4 officers to this one CEO. And he's going to tell his other friends that, well, that's cool that you have a level 4 guy, but my guy got all this additional training, and this is why I choose that company. And then not only that, but you're handpicking your guys. You're not getting just some dude that was working at a QT last week. You're looking for vets. You're looking for people that have some experience. Because what you're just talking about, you get these guys that, man, they want to see some action. It's like, no, dude, you got the wrong idea. So you try to get these guys that maybe they did a couple of deployments, or maybe they've been in some sort of situation where they got that, early 20s, I want to see some action bullshit out of their blood, and they're ready to sit behind a desk and watch some cameras and check some IDs and just be there vigilant, but not looking for any kind of bullshit, because that's the guy that's going to cook off around at a Hooters. Right?
What I tell everybody is when they come to me, I need a level 4 class. I was like, okay, so give me an idea. What do you think about bodyguarding? What do you think it is? What are you going to be doing? And they have their idea. They gear up with all. Okay, now show me a politician or an artist or an executive that wants to be seen walking around with 2 dudes like what you just described. And they go, huh? I said, just show me. You don't want a politician. A politician doesn't want to see all those guns around him. He wants the protection.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to see all the guns and the tough guy around him.
Yeah.
There is an image that needs to be protected. And that's also part of that bodyguard.
Yeah.
Right? I saw a video of, what's that singer name that went to the Super Bowl?
Celine Dion.
No. The young one.
Ariana Grande. I just threw that up.
Huh? No. The singer, the female.
There's so many female singers.
Cher.
I didn't even watch
Madonna. I'll get it eventually.
So it's one of the young guys.
20 years behind the power curve.
The name will come up to me. But you see her with her bodyguards, right? And she walks super fast, and the bodyguards have to run to catch up with her. They are dressing jeans, T-shirt, and tennis shoes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's bodyguard.
Yeah.
And people look at me. I said, wouldn't you want to be right there? She was at the Super Bowl. All the celebrities are there. Wouldn't you want to be in that venue?
Yeah.
You're not going to be there with all that gear on you.
Well, and like I was at a ribbon cutting for the new Fort Worth City Council chamber Tuesday, and the police officers were all, the majority of them were like almost 100 yards away. I guarantee you there was security right there around City Manager Jay Chapa.
Absolutely.
Three previous mayors plus the current mayor. I mean, there's security there, and you don't know that you don't see them. You could pick them out of a crowd. If I looked hard enough, I might be able to find 1 or 2 of them, but they're there, and those are your security guys.
Yeah, another guy that is super popular now, Charles Kirk, that he's going around the colleges and talking about politics and all kinds of stuff. He mentions on his podcast, he mentions on his videos that he has a security team. But any of those videos, they go around and show, you don't see who the security is.
Yeah.
Because of who he is, what he's trying to show and what he's trying to do. That presence of the tough guy there geared up and gunned up to the teeth is not there.
This
it's not
isn't a
part
rap
of that
video.
environment. He is in a college, a university. Yeah. It doesn't fit. But are there people that are trying to hurt this guy? Absolutely. He walks around with a full team of security.
Yeah.
You can't pick them out of the crowd. They have to mix with that young crowd. They have to mix with that environment. And I think it's phenomenal. One of the best skills for a bodyguard is to be able to blend in. And most people want to stand out. No, your client to stand out. Yeah. You stay in the shadows if is ever need for you to work.
Well, who do we sell plate carriers to then?
People like me.
There's a bunch of tactical cool guys that are just ready for the zombie apocalypse. Those are the guys that buy the plate carriers.
I saw something really tactical on either Instagram or TikTok almost immediately after we sat down and did our first recording. But it's one of these operator types, and he's pushing a stroller, with a baby in it. And they're simulating taking fire. Have you seen this?
Instructor Zero.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Instructor Zero.
Throws the deal
carriage
down.
and he's got a plate underneath the carriage. So the idea is now you're using your baby to block small arms.
Yeah,
fire.
man.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I've seen that.
very, very smart. There are all kinds of crazy things out there. I had one level 4 person that said, "Hey, I do security for this family. Da 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 da. What do you think of me hiding my gun in the diaper bag?" What? Come to me again? Yes, I was asked that question. I'm dead serious. I don't even know how
Underneath
to
the
answer.
Pampers,
I don't even know how to answer.
there's an active shooter, and you're over there throwing baby wipes trying to get to your fucking
I
sidearm.
bet your gun smells
All,
great.
all the diapers are ballistic panels.
Probably. But people come up with some weird ideas, some really crazy stuff.
No way.
It's like,
Hey man, like, I get it, man, and I'm all about it. I seen the video with Instructor Zero. Kind of get it. Like, yeah,
he's very entertaining.
he's very entertaining.
I haven't
But
seen
like
it.
my kids go to school, and my kids have body armor in their backpack.
That's good.
And unfortunately, we're at that. The
Keller, though, right?
yeah. Right. But I mean, look where you're at. You got Keller, Fort Worth. God forbid, Birdville in general, right?
Birdville.
It's terrible, right? But man, I mean,
I'm pro Birdville. I had a Birdville jacket.
I do too. But but man, you look at all over the country, man. Look at all these school shootings and everything else. And as sad as it is, like that's where we're at as a society. Is I send my kids to school with body armor in their
I think
backpacks.
that's a great idea because now you've given them just a little bit of protection in a world where there's a lot of uncertainty. But blocking small arms fire by flipping your baby over, so
No,
that now
absolutely.
it's
And I
something to hide
I
behind.
don't send them to school with plate carriers on.
Right?
We thank you for that. We did thank you for that. And one of the craziest things is the schools now are required to have an armed officer on campus.
I'm glad.
Every school is required to. Some schools are doing the right thing, right? Instead of going to a third-party company and just grabbing bodies and throwing them at school, they're going through training, and the interview process is a tough one. But I know of a school that hired somebody with a pretty big and good background and put them in school.
Were they testing their dry fire in the lobby?
No,
Oh.
but he was fired. He was fired from 2 other jobs
Oh, no.
because of sexual harassment. And you're going to throw them in a school with kids and teachers? Not a very smart
Absolutely not.
idea. So it goes back to who are we training and how are we training these people to put them in that environment?
I'm glad to hear that that's starting to kind of become a norm. A lot of schools are also, they're not putting in Sally ports, but they're using their existing structure by implementing policies that turn their front end of the building into a Sally port. They keep these doors locked. You only get access if somebody buzzes you in. Then you have to go to the office to get access to go through the next set of doors.
Correct.
That's where you put your security guy right there. You might need him inside the school, maybe checking doors, making sure somebody hasn't propped one open for one reason or the other, nefarious or otherwise. But I think that's a great practice. Have yourself a controlled entry point and put your security guy in there. And make sure he's not a sexual deviant.
And make sure that guy is prepared. We deal with 3 schools that I have trained the officers to be there, and every month they are required by the school to come and get some reps in.
Hell yeah.
At least once a month, and that's paid by the school.
Yeah, it's excellent.
They have free ammo. The school provides them ammo to
What
to
school
go
is
and
this?
shoot.
Can you tell me that?
Huh?
Can you tell me what school that is?
It provides them free ammo, an X amount of rounds every month for them to go out and shoot. Now, if your officer is not going and taking advantage of all of that, is that the type of person that you want in that environment?
Of course not.
I want to make sure that the officer that is taking care of the school of my kids is getting ready or is preparing themselves extremely well for the worst day of that entire school.
Yeah.
Right? What are the chances that something's going to happen? If there wasn't a chance for something going to happen, there was no need for you to be here.
Well, and just the fact that is becoming kind of a standard protocol for schools around Texas, hopefully the entire nation, but definitely Texas, you see it more and more. It makes it not a soft target. So now it's not nearly as attractive to a deranged shithead with a firearm to go into a school.
Correct.
So just having that there is huge.
It's huge, and I thought we would see more pushback from the parents, but the parents are very accepting of the presence of the officer. They don't like it, which I can see why they don't like it, but they accept that this is the world that we live in. There is a necessity, and they are glad that the officer is there.
No.
It's like, okay, it's a work in progress. It's the first. I think it's the first year that every school has to have one
Here in Texas?
here in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Well, and it's just always blown my mind, everybody back and forth with their political bullshit. But, if you walk into a bank, you've got security there. And people are wondering, what do we do about this school shooting crisis? Well, why don't we start by protecting our most valuable thing, our children, our future,
With guns.
the same way we protect our fucking banks? I mean, let's start there. Our airports, you're going to screen everybody, check their buttholes, run them through scanners, all this stuff to get on a fucking airplane, but not the school, the place where we keep our children. Let's start there.
I don't want to show my butthole to go to the book fair.
You'll do as you're told.
Bend over, cough.
Again?
Yeah, TSA is a thing of their own.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on that. Yeah, I did some work for DFW airport back in the day, and dealt with a lot of those TSA guys, and they got the high and mighty, I control everything here, and knowing these guys professionally, and then like, oh hey, me and my wife are going to take a trip, and then we have to go through TSA, and they're like, oh, I know you. It's like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, you're kind of an asshole, so why don't you step on over here for me?
Oh god.
It's like, oh, we were funny thing about TSA, we were coming back from
It's a butthole story.
yes, well, we're coming back from Florida,
One of many.
and while we're down there, it's my wife's first time in Florida, and we go to I don't remember where it was, but white sand beaches, it's gorgeous. She takes a water bottle, and she's like, hey, I'm taking some of the sand back with me. So she puts sand in the water bottle, and she puts it in her backpack and her luggage, and we go
Fentanyl.
we go to fly back into DFW. So we're going through TSA out there in Florida, and we put our bags on the conveyor. It goes through the deal, and I'm on the other side, and I'm putting stuff back in my pockets, and bag comes through, and the guy's like, hey, is this your bag? And I look at him and was like, oh. Nope, that's hers. And I like bolt. I'm like, nope. And my wife looks at me. She's like, what the hell?
Judas.
So they pull the bag over. Like, ma'am, step on over here. I'm gonna have to open your bag. They open the bag and they pull this bottle out. And granted, it looks like cocaine, right? And she's like, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cocaine. And my wife's like, shut up.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, we're gonna have to test this. She's like, yeah, test it. Like, it's from the beach. Like, y'all got pretty beaches down here. I wanted to take some back to Texas.
Snort some of that and tell me how it goes.
Oh, dude, they made a whole big deal about it. They tested it. Of course, it wasn't cocaine.
Turns out Miami sand is 25% cocaine.
I mean, it was Tampa area, so there could have definitely been cocaine in the sand.
Crocodile meth in there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And, we got there. My wife's like, I can't believe you did that. And I was like, dude, it was funny. I knew you weren't going to jail. Worst thing, you're going to get a finger in the butt, And, hey, I mean, there's far worse things in the world.
I did not know it was going to be a butthole story. I just made that up.
Man, I don't want to mess with TSA. And if I have to travel to go teach a class somewhere or take a class somewhere, I always ask the facility or the instructor, can I rent one of your guns and buy ammo there?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't want to deal with TSA.
I've never had to
I refuse.
try and do that, but it's got to be a nightmare because you have to go through an entirely different process and everybody's looking at you crazy.
The only good thing is your luggage will never get stolen. It is the very first one to come out of the plane. Those are the only good things. But the hassle before that, I just don't have the patience for it. I don't want to do it. A lot of people that do travel, and they're like, oh, that's easy. It's like, good on you. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just rent a gun and buy the ammo at the facility and then do what I need to do.
Yeah, I go the route of least resistance as well. I always have just a carry-on, and I go through that bag meticulously before I leave for the airport because it might have a straight round in it. I mean, it's happened before.
I carry all my coke in my sand, too.
Yeah, it is pretty fun when you're going through TSA and the dog comes and he's a bomb dog and the backpack that you have is the one that you take to the range, and then the
Yeah.
dog just goes, I got something right there. It's like, God, no.
Are they still using those sniffer machines? I've gotten pulled out of line for one of those before because I had black powder on my boots.
I'll be honest, because of this guy, I don't even fly commercial like that anymore. Like we fly private, and we don't.
Shut up.
We don't do that, right? They do. I mean, even the private field, like they do have machines that you walk through, and I guess you call it a sniffer. But yeah, TSA, like you go to DFW, and it's the X-ray machines, the sniffer machines, the everything, man. It's and I would like to say I get it to an extent. There's other ways around it without being that invasive.
Yeah.
But hey, man.
I don't know.
But there are people that push the limits too.
Oh, absolutely.
When I was down the south border, I became friends with a corporal, and this corporal had a girlfriend in the same base camp, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go to our honeymoon." It's like, "Cool. Where y'all going?" "Oh, we're going to Hawaii." So it was a big deal, right? Okay. He's like, "Hey, can you take me to the airport?" "Sure." The Laredo airport. I was like, "Sure, I'll take you to the airport." Well, what this corporal didn't check his bag, and I think he did it on purpose just to see if he could get away from it with it, because he's that type of guy. You know, I'm gonna push the limits to see how far I can go.
Those
He
people
had-
are weird.
Very, but they have the best stories too. And this dude had a full 5.56 mag,
Oh my god.
30 rounds loaded in his bag. She went to Hawaii. He spent 10 days in Hawaii having a blast. Where did he go? He didn't come back to base camp, I'll tell you that much.
And I assume he wasn't in Hawaii.
No, she was there by herself. All the pictures is of her. She's having a good time. I was like, "Where'd you go, Corporal?" "I don't want to talk about it." Okay.
Damn.
One
Yeah.
day I'll get in touch with him again and find out what happened.
Fuck around and find out moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I bet she had more fun. She probably had more
She
fun.
had the time of her life.
You said it was the honeymoon? Is that what
Yes,
you said it
we
was?
went for
Oh
the-
yeah, dude, she was having a blast. Yeah.
Oh, I
for
bet.
sure. Yeah.
And I don't blame her, because if you're going to be that much of an idiot, because this corporal was going around base camps and teaching classes with me, and he was the one, "Don't do it, don't do it." And I'm like, "Bro, and you're the one?" Like,
Tested on a $100 flight to Denver.
Then you'd probably get away with it for some reason.
I wonder if they still married at this point.
It went off to a great start, was it?
Oh, it was perfect.
I've lost so many good, like really cherished pocket knives to TSA because it's just like I've got too many damn pockets in this bag, but I try to search through everything. The worst one was a couple years ago. I had a fucking fillet knife in my bag. Yeah. It was my bag that I used for going on camping trips and stuff like that. And anyway, they pulled me aside and they're, "Is this your bag?" "Yeah, that's my bag." "Is there anything in here that shouldn't be in there?" "No." I checked it. I did. I pulled it apart. I checked every pocket. I know for a fact I don't have anything in that bag. And then he pulls out like this 10-inch long fillet knife. and my face went from fucking pissed off to, "Oh shit. Like, how much trouble am I in?" Because that looks like I was up to some bullshit. You know, like who brings a 10-inch long fillet knife?
The day that I started hating TSA was I was coming through TSA in São Paulo. I was coming back to US, and my grandpa had just died, and my grandpa carried for all his life that one pocket knife.
Oh no.
They took it.
Yeah.
They took it. There
well,
was no talking. There was no excuse. There was nothing. The officer picked it up and said, and he went to that little bin thing and just. It's like, I hate them
Yep.
with a passion.
These are the scariest things right here to fly with, because you don't know if they're going to stop you or not, and you're like, "Oh man, just don't take those."
Why would they take your nuts?
Because they don't know.
So for those of you not watching and just listening, Russell's got a pair of MVGs on the table. 2 pairs actually.
Yeah, so we'll travel with them, and then they'll show up in the X-ray, and they're like,
Yeah.
half people are like, "Those are binoculars," and the other half are like, "What is this?" Because they don't look like that on an X-ray.
Right.
And it's all electronics and stuff in them.
Yeah. Looks kind of suspicious, I guess.
Yeah, I've been checked twice, but like, "What are these?" I'm like,
Turn the lights off.
Let me explain to you.
Hilarious. We've got some cool toys on the table here at Donovan Manufacturing today. If you're watching the video, Dillon, you want to tell us about this toy you brought us?
The saw, that little thing.
That little thing?
It's a saw. That one is full auto.
Oh wow!
And that is probably, as far as machine gun shoots, that's the biggest money maker we have. Like that's the one everybody wants to shoot.
Oh yeah.
And it looks great in videos and photos. And
If you get froggy enough, it's light enough to shoot from the shoulder.
yeah.
Yeah, you can. You can wear yourself out pretty quick, but yeah.
The barrels are quick change, so it's really easy to keep everybody running through as long as we got 3 or 4 barrels. You know,
God.
and so we can keep the action going. It's also on those barrels. There's no threaded muzzle brake, so we don't have to worry about one falling off. But it is an A2, so we can put A2 style suppressors on there, which is great because we test a lot of suppressors. And this is the thing we test them with. This thing only runs on M855 ball, so it's 62 grain, high powered. Really got a lot of ass to it ammo.
Gonna put the most stress on it.
Yeah, we've tested a couple of cans with this thing. We've blown some up. You know, they're like, oh, let's get some footage. And like, I'm prepping it with the suppressor company. I'm like, hey man, we're gonna make this badass thing. We're gonna run 2,000. I set a belt specifically this gun. We were down at the ranch, and I was gonna do this not shoot thing, and we were gonna put this can on the front of it, and it was gonna be awesome. As soon as the sun went down, I was going to be behind the gun. We had 2,000 rounds strung up, and it was like we just have to have somebody feeding it, literally, you know.
Right.
And so let's do a test run with this can. Let's shoot 50 rounds. Make sure the cameras are all good and all that jazz.
Don't miss your mark.
Oh yeah. And the sun comes down, or the sun's starting to come down. Like, all right, here we go. And 10 rounds in, I hear a, and that can gone.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm like, and we were filming that part too, and I sent it to the suppressor guy. I was like, hey man, do you want me to put this on Instagram or no?
I'll take no for 1,000 Trebek.
Oh, but it gets better.
Oh yeah, okay, we can go.
So yeah, we grab the can, we check it, and we're like, oh yeah, that's not good. It's all press fit stuff, right? So it cracked, came loose, flew out. So they're like, oh man, we're sorry. I was afraid that was going to happen. Let me send you another one.
Right.
Okay. So we wait.
I'm afraid that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Oh, we know the exact stress point where it happened. I'm like, you know the stress point. You send it. You know what I'm going to be doing, right?
So they do send us. They send another can, and we're sitting right here at this table. And the can comes in. We're like, all right, cool. And we're getting ready. Like, hey, we'll go out next weekend, this weekend, whenever it was. Pull the can out, and I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, it looks good. And I just happened to like look down. I was like, something look wrong to you? He looks at it and he goes, no shit. Took a flashlight and looked. They didn't finish the machining. They didn't thread the inside of it. So we were like, oh. Took a picture, sent it back. It was like, sent him a message like, hey man, what do you want us to do with this? And he goes, oh, yeah, I guess it missed that part of the process. I'll send you another one.
No, we're good.
And they did. They sent another one, and we haven't done.
In the middle of that, our rep that we were talking to, the guy that's my boy, you know, he's in the military, blah, blah, blah. These are great cans, yada, yada. I call him on that last can. He's like, bro, I don't even work there anymore. I was like, there ain't everybody in there's a civilian. I was the only military guy. That's why they hired me. And it's really just a bunch of dudes in an office working off an old suppressor company, and it's just this big front that they put up, and the whole thing was fake. I was like, holy crap. And then, so it just goes to show you, just because you think that someone's got a good advertising campaign and they're like, hoo.
Yeah.
They might not be doing anything.
There's a lot of that out there.
Yeah. Not only that, they had some special forces dude on their catalog. I'm like, who is this guy? They're like, that's straight up a model. I'm like, that explains it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this industry. Is a lot of advertising and not a whole lot of content.
Yeah.
Or usable.
You know the best way to find good quality manufacturers and people that know what they're talking about. You listen to a podcast.
That's true.
Yeah, it's long form conversation. You take one of those nerds from that fake suppressor company, you sit them down for 5 minutes, and they're going to run out of hit points. And they've been rehearsing, you know, really dig into their history and find out you got just
your podcast may last about 15 minutes.
Well, yeah, that'd be on the podcaster.
That's kind of my job at SHOT Show. I go to each booth and like 3 questions. I'm like, you're full of shit.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, where can they find information on your school or anything else that you got going on? You want them to visit?
Instagram is the best way to contact me at DSTA_Stryke.
Okay. Well, we'll have that in the show notes so people don't have to write it
But
down.
Stryke is spelled with an Y, not an I.
Okay.
It's
Got
all
it.
fancy. It's all
Nice.
fancy. But
Some of that clever branding.
I'll give you that link real quick. Most people know me by Stryke. That's where most of my stuff is.
Excellent.
Yeah, hit me up there if you're interested in getting some training with your pistol. I can do rifles and shotguns as well. And the one thing that you guys probably gonna laugh, I love training people with revolvers.
I got a 38 special, brother.
I carry an 8-shot 357 2-inch barrel.
Best thing in the world.
See, I told y'all.
People don't give enough credit to how good revolvers are, and I love doing training with revolvers. I love doing it. I carry revolvers quite often, and people go, "Oh, you don't have enough rounds." I don't need enough rounds.
How many do you need?
It's that mentality. A lot of people build guns or they set up their guns to go into a fight. Remember, I'm a civilian. I am a husband. I'm a father. My goal is not to get a medal or to become a hero.
Defensive pistol, not offensive pistol.
I want to go back home. So to get me out of trouble, a revolver is more than enough.
Yeah. If I need more than 5 rounds, I'm probably not coming home.
I'm probably not coming home. That's the mentality. If it is something that, and you probably have heard all of that, oh, my pistol is just to get me to my rifle in my car. If I can get to my car, I'm going home.
No,
I'm not coming back to a fight for nothing.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that we focus on, right? It's okay. You want to carry the rifle and say that you're ready for the zombie apocalypse, that's fine. But the reality is you have one pistol and you have to solve the problem with that handgun.
Right.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent
And
point.
we focus on husband and wife type of training. Why? Because I'm a different fighter if she's with me.
Sure.
Have you been down to the ranch yet?
Not yet. I've been invited. I need to get there.
All right. So he does local pistol courses here, right? Yeah. So everything is local Fort Worth roots. It's in Gritters in
North Richland
Hills, right? NRH. It's right on the street from NRH 20 too. Like it's right there by that all that stuff right there.
So
right
you can come do all the running and gunning on the weekend when we teach classes on Saturday or Sundays, and then when you get hot, you can go swim.
There's a Hooters right there, ain't there?
There's a Hooters right.
Yeah, there's a Hooters right there.
Well, it went out. I think Hooters filed for bankruptcy, didn't they? Like a month or two ago.
They're on their way out.
Yeah,
man.
DEI got everybody, Bo.
Why did we laugh so hard at that?
and I'm gonna tell you, people think that I'm crazy, but I love the wings at Hooters.
Yeah.
They were good.
I can't help it.
There are better wings out there. But
There are, but
no shade.
addiction is addiction.
It's also right next to your work, so that helps.
It
And they got cold
very
beer.
easy. Huh?
Cold beer is always good.
That's also true. That's also true. So we do some shooting and then go eat wings at Hooters, and then if you want to go and put a Speedo on and go swimming, no, forget the Speedo.
This is an awesome course. Where do I sign up?
He's going to take it with his revolver in a Speedo.
Revolver, Speedos, Hooters. What?
That became a joke with the whole teaching, because people start asking, "Oh, you're from Brazil?" "Yeah, I'm from Brazil." "Did you wear a Speedo to go to the beach?" I was like, "Yeah." "Where'd you hide your gun?" I said, "Come to the class and find out."
We call that the old keister.
I was going to suggest we do a Donovan Manufacturing road trip, and we go up there and.
Hey man, I am heading out today. So y'all wanna go out?
Oh, down to the ranch, or okay,
I sure am. So there's I got to go down there and pick up a bunch of stuff that I left down there. But they're also doing a 2-gun competition tomorrow night and Saturday. So they'll have daytime shooting, and then they'll break, and then they'll have a nighttime shoot. So people run a night vision and all that fun stuff.
You and them have been putting out some great content from your last trip. Where can people find the ranch on Instagram?
It's the Ranch, Texas.
Ranch TX, I believe.
TX, yeah.
Ranch TX.
Pretty rad.
Find them on Instagram, and I think they just started a media company too, which is where all that footage is coming from.
The easiest way to find it is go to our Instagram and then figure out where the links are afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of the videos are they're what do they call them? Collabed. So they're collabed. So you pretty much go to any of my videos, click it, and
just straight Donovan MFG on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Donovan MFG.
Mother effing gangster.
Need to add the DSTA Stryke there too.
Yeah.
I'd ask Russell if he had any social media links to drop, but you don't.
Womp womp.
He's a ghost.
Yes,
you
sir.
gotta find him in the wild.
Yeah.
Just hang a margarita out the window and
He will find you.
I'm not jealous. I mean, social media became like we were talking before. It's a necessity, but my God, there's so much trash out there,
Oh, there is.
and I just don't have time for all that BS. But you gotta make it. You gotta make it work. So my Instagram is the best way to contact me. Send me a message there, and I'll get in touch with you. I do private training, do group training.
Sweet.
excellent. Well, Stryker, it was excellent having you here with us today. Looking forward to getting this thing kicked off on the regular. And I think we hit all the high notes as far as places you can go to find more information about Donovan MFG and all the wildness that they're getting into currently. Anything else before we get out of here, guys?
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you so much for.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Invite. It was nice being here and getting to chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you again, Stryker.
Let's
And-
go get some lunch.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, y'all keep an eye out
boy
for
hunter.
that shield, dagger, and serpent on the logo, the little icon there inside the Fort Worth Roots catalog. And you can find everything that we're doing on fortworthroots.com. You can find our sponsors there under Trusted Sponsors. And on all the social media, it is Fort Worth Roots. Go check out Donovan MFG on Instagram, and we will see you next time.
Brad.